lot of y'all be 20 pounds or less away from your max goal. Then you guys get so excited to where you become distracted and you gain back the.
Hey Bestie, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bestie, like the video because it helps with my algorithm. So today, Bestie, I want us to have a real conversation about something that everyone struggles with when it comes to losing weight, and that is staying on track. It's one thing to start the journey, to feel motivated in the beginning, but it's completely different story actually to stay consistent, not to fall off when life get busy, when you're stressed, or when you have comfort food is calling your name. If you ever feel like this when you're starting strong, but somehow drift back in old habits, then this video is going to be a game changer for you. So I've put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back sharing my truth.
A lot of y'all be 20 pounds or less away from your max goal. Then you guys get so excited to where you become distracted and you gain back the 20 pounds plus more. I'm going to tell you guys something. When you start feeling discouraged, always remember why you started. And this is why I'm very big on progress pictures, because you can go back to those pictures and see how far you have come. If you guys have experienced that, please get back on track, lock back in. Trust me, if you done lost 10, 20 pounds, you can lose 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds. It's in you. You just have to get the motivation and the discipline and the consistency to keep going. Get back on track because you're almost at your max goal.
This is a message for all of my girlies on a weight loss journey. So if that is not you, just keep scrolling. Listen, you are not gonna have good days every single day. It is normal to not wanna go to the gym some days. It is normal to not wanna stick to your meal prep. It is normal to wanna say fuck it and just throw everything out the window. It is so normal, especially in the beginning. But just because you don't wanna do something sometimes, guys, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it and that you shouldn't show up. My best workouts and my best days are the days that I show up and I really didn't want to show up and I really didn't want to fucking do it. And I've been doing this for years. I still have days that I don't want to do this. This morning I woke up and my workout started 17 minutes after I woke up, okay? I still put my shoes on and I ran my ass out the door because I stick with the commitments that I make with myself. Your word with yourself is the most important thing in the entire world. And when you continue to keep these promises that you make with yourself and you show up even when you don't want to and you show up even when it's hard and you show up when you know it's the last goddamn fucking thing that you want to do, that is where change really happens. So this is your friendly reminder today. Don't be upset with the results you don't get, with the work that you don't do, and you can show up even if you don't want to. And I promise you, you are never going to regret showing up for a workout. You are never going to regret choosing that meal that's going to get you closer to your goals. You are entirely up to you, sis.
I seriously think a huge misconception when it comes to weight loss is people thinking that they have to be motivated the whole time to get it done. I would probably argue that like motivation past week 2 isn't really a necessity. It's nice in waves when it comes, but it's not going to be a constant in your life ever. Like think about what other things that you have been motivated for long term forever. It's kind of like school. It's like, okay, when you have the goal to graduate with a degree, you're not waking up every single day so motivated to get that degree right now, get on that grind and do everything perfect. Because you know how important the end goal is to you, you just don't make getting up and getting your stuff done optional. This is obvious. Like a lot of people talk about this where it's not motivation, it's discipline that keeps them going, which is so true. But I also think it's super important to take advantage when you are motivated. Motivation in the beginning is probably going to get you past like week 2, week 3, right? But I literally live by the mantra that when I am most motivated and when things are the easiest on me, I'm going to take advantage of that so that it makes it easier on me when things are harder. So for example, like today I had 11 miles on my run agenda, right? Today when I woke up, my like back tension wasn't feeling very bad. I was feeling really recovered. Weather outside was really nice. It was like 40 degrees where I was running in when I normally run in like 18, 20, 25. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. I'm 2 weeks away from my first half marathon. Everything on today added up for it to be an easier day for me to get my goals done. When things are working in my favor like that, I do not let that opportunity pass without taking advantage of it to be able to impress myself. So what did I do? I beat my pace today and I ran 11 miles in under an 8-minute pace, which I haven't done before. Because I'm doing that and I'm marking off a goal whenever the things are adding up that make it easy and I don't just let that opportunity pass me by. Then whenever things are working against me and I'm not being as impressive and I maybe feel a little bit discouraged that everything isn't working perfectly, I can look back on that time and remember, okay, I impressed myself. I took advantage of opportunities that I was given. And then we just keep going and pushing through those harder times until those easier times come. The exact same thing with your diet. I tell my clients all the time that you want to take advantage as much as you can of the opportunities that you have where things are more simple and things are easier. What that means is like if you have a whole week of no plans at home, you need to take advantage of hitting your calorie deficit every single day out of that week. When you stay really, really drilled in, locked in, and disciplined, and you check your goals off without making excuses up for yourself. Say in 2 weeks, something happens and you have like a huge wedding bachelorette trip weekend. Say you can't be as perfect because things aren't as in your control as you were like the couple weeks before that. Because you were so locked in and because you took advantage of the opportunities you were given when things were easier and you checked off your boxes every single day then if you can't be perfect when things are out of your control, it's not going to have as detrimental of an impact. Because if we look at, okay, what if that whole bachelorette trip weekend you were in a slight surplus or you were even like not eating the best foods? Say you couldn't track perfectly. That added on top of like 2 weeks of consistency where you were just at home checking off all of your boxes, like is barely going to make a dent in your results. Whereas if every single day leading up to that bachelorette trip, you don't take advantage of things being easier and in your control and you don't check off your boxes and you don't track your calories and you're 300 over your calories every day because you're not locking in, then it's like, okay, that bachelorette trip when things are out of your control is definitely going to have more of a detrimental impact because it's not stacked on top of endless days of consistency where you were killing the game. The same thing like during your period for me as well. Like your period, like of course things are working against you. You're not always going to be able to be perfect. Things might be harder. That doesn't mean that you can't get them done. Am I still following my running program when I'm on my period? Am I still eating the same when I'm on my period? Am I still going to the gym? Am I still getting my steps in? Yes, and it might suck in the moment, but that doesn't mean that those highs where things are easier aren't going to come again. And the more you take advantage of those highs and you push yourself to do your best when things are in your control and things aren't as bad as far as like negative experiences you're going through, you're just going to be more successful. Then it's also easier to give yourself grace during times like this because you know it's a valid excuse. You know that you've been so locked in with discipline before this that it's not the end of the world when things aren't completely perfect, you know? So it's a fine balance between giving yourself grace when things are harder, but also knowing that like don't let things get in the way and don't make excuses for yourself because you're always going to feel better when you find ways to follow through for you.
Lost 40 pounds with hypothyroidism and I've gained back at 7 pounds. I weighed myself today and I have officially gained back 7 pounds. Now I'm going to share everything I will be doing to get myself back on track and lose 10 pounds. Something that I truly believe made me fall off track was to stop having my electrolytes. I ran out of them and for a while I didn't have them and my cravings were through the roof. Every morning I am taking electrolytes. Next up is finding what supplements I need. I ordered supplements. I also ordered sea moss to start my supplement journey, which is also going to help my body get nutrients it needs that it might not be getting from the food sometimes. Next one is, of course, being in a calorie deficit. I don't count my calories anymore, but I do know how to make myself be in a deficit, and it's following these 3 things. Getting movement in, plus walking 10K steps a day. So doing Pilates and walking 10K steps a day. Also reducing my carbs and sugar by 50% at least, and increasing my protein intake to replace the amount of carbs and sugar that I am removing. And of course, listening to my hunger cues. I gained this weight back because I was not listening to my hunger cues. When people tell you that intuitively eating works, it 100% does. Even though I gained my weight back, I was not intuitively eating. I was stopping to eat when I was ridiculously, disgustingly full. So if I can stop before I want those last few bites, that's how I will lose weight at the end of the week. Imagine the amount of food you will save if you do that. Of course, drinking water is also going to help. So drinking a bunch of water on top of those electrolytes, on top of all the diet I said, and the activity levels that I said, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to also give myself grace. Even though I've gained back 7 pounds, it's okay. It's okay. It's literally fine. You can lose that again. It's very likely the amount of time it took me to gain this weight back is the amount of time it's going to take me to lose it. This time, the one thing I will do differently, keep trying to listen to my hunger cues. This happened because I was off track for a while and I let myself get carried away. But I need to remind myself of how I am feeling physically and mentally due to this. I have a workout program and a meal plan coming out May 26th as well, but the pre-sale is up right now if you'd like to join me in this journey. It is all Pilates, minimal equipment is needed or no equipment is needed because this is travel friendly. This is a program for you with a meal plan for you, with travel tips for you to keep you on track in a healthy lifestyle no matter what environment you are in.
If you're someone who has big fitness goals like losing 15 to 20 pounds, but you find that during the week you always stay on track, you eat really healthy, you do your workouts, then the weekends roll around and you completely go into screw it mode and then feel so guilty on Sunday, restart Monday, and it's just a vicious cycle. I'm going to give you my top 3 tips on how you can stay on track on the weekends. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, I'm just not going to be able to enjoy my life or have fun on the weekends. That is not the case at all. First tip is choosing one day that you are going to go have a fun meal. So instead of having one on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday morning, pick one of the 3. Second is looking at restaurant menus ahead of time. If you look at the menu ahead of time and prepare your brain for these fun, impulsive choices or meals, once you get there, if you have already made a healthy choice, it makes it so much easier to use moderation and have a healthy option. Third is get your friends on board with what you're doing. Suggest to have a dinner night. Suggest to maybe do like a fun night that doesn't include going out and eating and drinking, and suggest something so that they're inclined to want to do that as well. I have way more tips on staying on track on the weekend. Let me know if you guys want them.
This is how I get my shit together quick after I've fallen off track with my health and fitness. I lost 50 pounds, and during that process, I made tons of mistakes along the way. And doing these things after falling off track were the difference between losing 10 pounds and gaining 20 back, and actually losing the 50 pounds and now keeping it off. So this stuff actually works. The first step is forgiving yourself and taking responsibility. No one can make you go off track other than yourself. And you might say, oh, well, this happened with my kid, or this happened with my job. That's fine. You still made the choice to prioritize that thing over your goals. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. That is simply why forgiveness is the first step. Because you have to forgive yourself for either prioritizing something more important at the time, or for honestly just choosing to be lazy if you don't have an excuse. The amount of times that I would just beat myself up for falling off track and then later binge because I felt so shitty about myself, I cannot even count. Second thing is to pull out a planner or your calendar, and you are going to write out everything that you are going to eat for the next 7 days. I'm talking meals, snacks, and drinks, plan ahead. And pick the days that you're going to exercise and what you're going to do. Simply by planning it, you're 50% more likely to actually follow through. I love going on Pinterest and just searching recipes with 5 ingredients or less because I don't have time to cook super complex meals during the week. I'll pick 2 recipes, meal prep them, and then I won't have to worry about it the rest of the week. The next thing that you're going to do is habit stack a toxic habit with a healthy habit. For example, I am addicted to the TV show Suits right now, and I also spend way too much time looking at all the TikTok girlies' Amazon storefronts. So I told myself I can only do those things while walking on a treadmill. Invest in a walking pad. It's totally worth it. And the last thing that I will do is visualize myself as the version of me after I reach the goal. For me, it was visualizing who I would be after losing 50 pounds. What would I look like? What would I sound like? What would it feel like to accomplish that? What kinds of clothes would I wear? What kind of things would I say about myself? Who would I hang out with? What things would I do after work? How would I spend time on the weekends? What would it be like when I went out shopping? And get really inside of the head of that person and then start acting like her. So if she spends Saturday morning working out with her boyfriend and then making a big breakfast, I would do it. Or if she spends her Tuesday night reading a personal development book, I would do it. If she orders the healthier option at the restaurant or chooses to eat from home, I would do it. And then I would just keep doing these things again and again and again. And before I knew it, the weight was gone. This journey is not linear. And anyone who's told you that they've never fallen on track, either A, hasn't been on track long enough to fall off, or B, they're just straight up lying. Do you, baby girl. You're doing a great job.
As you guys all know, I fell off track a bit and I've gained like 20 pounds, but I am happy to report that I have lost about 6 pounds in the last 2 weeks due to restarting and getting my motivation going. Now, the question is, how did I do that? Let's talk about it. A big key in getting my motivation back on track is to reassess my environment. That means that I need to have things in the house that support my weight loss journey. Number 1, have water bottles available so that I can get my liquids in. Number 2, get some nice shoes. Get something that supports my exercise journey. I bought myself some nice new shoes. Get my exercise equipment now. For example, my treadmill has been leaning up against a wall in my office for like 5 months. So I put it down on the floor and it is ready to use. I also did a clean out of my fridge and bought all the groceries that I actually love to eat. Like really actually love to eat, as opposed to just like a bunch of veggies that are gonna go bad in my fridge. I also took out my air fryer and my crock pot to make sure that I will actually cook things in my house, as opposed to be like, I'm just gonna go out to eat. I also made sure to put all my vitamins out on the counter because I've been kind of slacking in that department, so it's helpful when I actually visually see them every day. Finally, I just made a few rules for myself for this month. Make sure I get my...
This is the number 1 thing that you need to do to stay on track with your fitness journey while you are on vacation. So the first thing that you need to do is absolutely nothing, and you enjoy your vacation. Because there is more to life than counting calories and losing weight all the time. Being on vacation is supposed to be stress-free, enjoyable, fun, spending time with your friends, family, whoever you're with. The last thing on your mind should be, oh, does this piece of cake have too many calories? Or, oh, should I not have this drink? because it might have too much sugar in it. Fuck no. Enjoy your life on vacation. And if you're consistent throughout the rest of the year or throughout the most of the time, you're not going to have to worry about what you're doing with your less than 2% of your year if you're gone on vacation for 1 week. Enjoy your vacation and do not fucking worry about getting your steps in or your calories. No. When you have a good relationship with yourself and your food.
4 ways to get back on track post-festive season.
Number 1, to ease back into tracking your calories again, we suggest that you girls sit on maintenance calories. This is going to allow you to not have the pressure of trying to be in a calorie deficit straight away and still have that flexibility from being on maintenance calories and just getting back on track and being consistent with tracking your intake. And once you're in a really good groove and routine again, this is when you can drop back down into a calorie deficit. Number 2, if you weren't consistent with your training regime over the holidays, that is totally fine. What we suggest that you do is start off small and build momentum. What I mean by that is start off with 3 sessions per week, be consistent with that, and then once you're in a really good routine, increase to 4 if you wish, and then if you want to, increase to 5. By starting off small and building momentum, it's going to allow you to set yourself up for success as opposed to trying to get in, for example, 5 sessions per week and setting yourself up for failure. Number 3, bringing back your consistent daily habits. For example, going back to your regular sleep schedule, being consistent with your daily water intake, and getting in some form of movement every single day, even if that means just going out for a walk. By bringing back those small daily habits, it is seriously going to make the world of difference with regards to how efficiently you bounce back post-festive season.
That's a video, bestie. So I'm just here just to add on like what I think about today's video, how to stay on track when you're on your weight loss. So the truth is, motivation alone is not enough. Motivation comes in and goes, but discipline is what's going to carry you through the days when you don't feel like doing anything, bestie. If you wait until you feel motivated, you're never going to see the result because will always been a reason to put it off. Staying on track is about building systems that don't depend on how you feel at that moment. For example, if you know that after work you're too tired to cook, set up your meals ahead of time so that you don't give yourself the option to reach for junky foods. When you create system, the discipline becomes automatic, and that's how the results are built. Another thing I want you to remember is that weight loss is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Perfection is a trap. If you tell yourself you can never have a slice of cake, then one day when you eat a cake, you feel like you have failed, and that mindset can make you spiral. The real way to stay on track is to give yourself grace. Have the cake, but balance it with your healthy habits. Don't punish yourself with the guilty of skipping meals that of next day, okay? Consistency will always beat perfection, and when you understand that, you stop sabotaging yourself after every little sip up. Your environment plays a massive role in staying on track, bestie. If your kitchen is filled with chips, sodas, and cookies, then bestie, you are setting yourself up for struggle. Willpower is not infinite. It runs out. You don't need to be strong all the time. You just need to be smart about your surrounding. Stock your fridge and pantry with food that support your goals. Put your gym clothes where you can see them. Set reminder on your phone. Staying on track is not much easier than your environment is helping you, not tempting you to go back to your old ways. One of the biggest secrets to staying on track is tracking your progress. And I don't just mean the scale. The scale can lie because your body weight can sometimes go up because of the water, hormones, or even the time of the day. What I'm talking about is keeping track of your wins. Take progress pictures, write down how your clothes are fitting, notice how your energy levels are improving, how your confidence is building, and when you actually see and feel progress, you stay motivated to keep going. Those little wins add up and they remind you why you started. Let's also talk about planning because failing to plan is planning to fail. If you don't have a plan for your workouts, for your meals, for how you're going to handle situations, you will always be reacting instead of being in control. Staying on track requires you to plan ahead. If you know you're going out with friends, maybe have some light meals earlier in the day. If you know the week will be hectic, prepare meals over the weekend. Playing takes away the chaos and keeps you aligned with your goals even when your life gets unpredictable. Another key to staying on track is surrounding yourself with support. This journey can feel lonely if the people around you don't understand what you're trying to achieve. They can unintentionally pull you back. Find a support system. Maybe it's a friend who's on the same journey. Maybe it's an online community. Maybe it's watching videos like this one to stay encouraged. When you surround yourself with people or the content that uplifts you, it becomes much easy to keep going when things get hard. You also have to get very clear about why why do you want to lose weight? Is it to feel healthy, to have more energy, to feel more confident in your own skin, to prevent future health issues? Whatever reason, it has to be deep and personal because surface level reasons won't sustain you when temptation comes knocking. Write down your why you yeah you want to lose the weight, okay? So why is what keeps you grounded and focused when you start to drift off, of course. Don't forget the power of small habits. People often think they need to make massive changes overnight, but the truth is, the lasting weight loss comes from small, sustainable drinking, like drinking water. Maybe it's walking 20 minutes a day. Maybe it's cutting out sugary drinks. Some small changes feels durable, and when you keep going, you're doing like a massive of things. They create big results. Those habits become part of your life, and that's how you stay on track long term because it no longer feels like a deity or a chore. It's just the way you are living. And bestie, I want you to remember that this is your journey. Stop comparing to others. Stop rushing because you saw someone lose weight faster than you. Staying on track means staying focused on your own path. Everyone's body is different, everyone's circumstances are different, and comparison is a thief of joy. If you keep looking at someone's results, you get discouraged. But if you keep your eyes on your own progress, you stay consistent and motivated because you see how far you've become.